Okay, so turn your books to page 33. This week for inversions, we're going to focus mainly on doing harmonization that have the exact chords versus Roman numerals written above them, mainly so that we can get a really solid grasp on how to use inversions, and then Roman numerals tend to be a little bit more confusing. Like with the last harmonization, I know that some of the Roman numerals were a slight bit confusing, so we're going to start with something a little bit easier for this. So let's take a look at 2-16. We are definitely in G major, based off the chords that they give us, and also the key signature, which has an F sharp. So first, let's sight read pretty slowly through the right hand, okay? So 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so now take a look at the chords right above it. Anytime that you see E, M over G, so what that basically means is the first part, so E minor in this case, the first part on the left of the slash means what chord we're going to need. So in this case we need an E minor chord. The G on the right side means, is that what the words? That is what note is going to be on the bottom of the chord. So we need E minor chord, but it's going to be on G, okay? So our notes for E minor, let's figure those out really quickly, are E, G, and B. So we can easily pop up to a first inversion chord, and that is going to be the chord that they're going to want us to use for that. Why do you think? Well, my idea, I would ask you this in class, but I can't. So the chord before, if we start in a root position G chord, all we have to do is change the top note. We have to go up 1. Yeah, so that makes it a lot easier. Then our next chord is in A minor, but it's in root position. So we're going to pop into that. Okay? Now the next chord is going to be a D major chord. So, but we have to put it in an inversion because we see that F sharp after it. So D major chord, it's D, F sharp, and A. So if we start on F sharp, we're in a first inversion chord. So from A minor, root position, we're just going to have to move down slightly to get to a first inversion D major chord. This is a lot easier moving from root position to root position. Okay? Now, we're back to a root position G, and what do you know? We only have to scoot up 2 of our fingers and go up a couple of notes, okay? Alright, so now, hopefully this is making sense as we go. The next chord is B minor with F sharp in the bass. So B minor chord, it's going to be B, D, and F sharp. So to put it in that position, F sharp needs to be on the bottom, still need B and D. So this is B minor in second inversion. And look how easy it is to move from G to this chord right here. All we have to do is lower our pinky a half step. Okay, good. So G, B minor over F sharp. Okay, now A minor over C. So A minor chord is A, C, and E. We need a chord in first inversion so we can have C in the bottom. So here, we will have to move quite a bit for this one, but that is going to make it a little bit easier to end. So we're going to have to move up here. Okay? So this would be the only jump that we would make. Or we can move down to here. It's up to you. I would suggest moving down here because otherwise we're going to be all up in our right hand's business. So D major. Wait, hold on one second. Sorry. A minor. Now we just move to root position D, and then we have root position G. So what I would suggest is write in all of those chords in your bass, okay? Like write them out like note-wise so that you can practice it. The more time goes on, the less that you're going to need it, hopefully. So get in the practice of doing that now. I will not do it. I want you guys to do it on your own, but let's go ahead, don't pretend. Pause the video right now and do that, unless you are gutsy enough to try it without writing anything in. Okay, so if you've written stuff in, you should be good to go. But let's go ahead and start both hands together. Okay. Just move your thumb up. Root position A minor. Make sure F is as sharp as your bottom note. Now root position G. Just move the bottom note. Now move down to get the A minor chord. Might take a little bit of time, that's okay. Now D root position and back to G. Good. If you're feeling really comfortable with that, I would try doing the transposition to F major. If not, then I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, with that being said, let's move on to the next one. So Sonata in A major, it's an excerpt rather. So our key is obviously A major. That should not be a surprise. And the nice thing, if you take a look through it, we only have 3 chords to figure out. So let's reverse our order. Let's do the chords first, and then we will do the sight reading through the right hand melody. Okay? So first we have an A major chord in root position. Now next we have E7 over G sharp. So E7 chord is going to have a minor 7 from E, and then we're going to go up to D to make that minor 7th. Okay? Now we need a major chord on bottom, so E, G sharp, B, and D. Okay? Now there's got to be an easier way to get to that. So if we have G sharp in the bottom, you can play G sharp, D, and E. We want to keep the D to make, if we have a 7, so that we can show it's a 7th chord and also give it a little bit more tension before the resolution. Okay? If you want to throw that B in there, if you can manage it, that's fine, but if it's missing, I'm not going to cry about it. So, okay. So, A major, E7, G sharp. Now we need a root position F sharp minor chord, so we're going to have to move from this one down to F sharp minor, F sharp, A, and C sharp. Back to our E7 chord, and then, oh, look at that. We've got that for the rest of eternity until this piece ends, which is really not that long. But okay, so practice that if you need to write those chords in. This is a little bit easier than the last one, so you may not have to, but if you'd like to, go ahead and pause right now so that you can write those in. Okay, that being said, let's sight read through the right hand, and then we'll put them both together. So 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. Okay, let's try putting the chords together. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. Sharp minor. Okay, I hope that made a little more sense and made the versions seem easier. They should be easier because that means that you have to move around as little as possible. So if you find yourself moving all over the place, you've missed something. Anyways, okay, next video we're going to talk about a little bit of score reading.